Hello, and welcome to today's webinar, Digital Logistics for In-Service. And my name is Melissa Wagner, and I'll be your host for today's event. I'm a Senior Product Marketing Manager at PTC. Today's speakers include Mark Riviere, David Siegel, Jeff Stevenson, and Christophe Delani. These speakers come from different backgrounds at PTC, GPSL, and MBDA. And for the agenda, we'll be talking about a few different things: maintenance and servicing organizations, challenges, and the need for digital thread for paperless logistics, MBDA, digital transformation for customer support and services, PTC, digital logistics for in-service operations, a solution offering description and value prop, GPSL, S1000D, solution for technical publications and IETMs. And without further ado, Mark, do you want to go ahead and get started?
Sure. Thank you, Melissa. So hello, everyone, and I'm really happy to be here, excited. Let me explain to you first why we need to change, because as you all know, change is really difficult to make happen in an organization. So usually it's coming from a real need, and we truly believe that now is the right moment to do that change because of many factors that are really happening at the same time. The first one is really about how to recover from the COVID-19 situation. Because of that COVID situation, well, the activity has dropped dramatically during the pandemic. So there is a big need to recover, and the best way to recover will be by changing and adapting your activity. Many aircraft are in storage today, need to get back in flight. So there is additional work to be done because of that. So again, need to adapt to that situation, need to put back in service those equipment, those products. And so there's a need for real control of the configuration of those equipment and aircraft to make sure that you're able to better control the back in life of those products. At the same time, many airlines are reconfiguring their fleet. So there is fleet retirements, new fleet coming, change of configurations between the fleets. So more than ever now, there is a need to control the configuration and all the documentation and all the data around that. You are living in a highly competitive environment. Well, it's even more now because of the post-pandemic situation. So cost pressure is bigger than ever before. So there's a need to better control the revenue to cost margin. There's a need to adapt to highly variable demand. There's a need to stand out from the pack with new value-added services to better outperform the competition. And how to change? Well, if you look at all the papers that are out today, the best way to change now is really by going digital. Digital, if you look at McKinsey on the global aerospace and defense, digital for them brings the highest bang for buck promise in the change, because it brings all the new functionalities like artificial intelligence, automation of processes, new experiences like augmented reality, better ways to standardize your exchange and collaboration between your partners, suppliers, customers, and so shorten the process and make the process more efficient. So if we move to the next slide, so of course you are facing many challenges. There are a lot of challenges in the industry today. Well, first, from the design to in-service support, well, there is a need to keep track of changes. So how to apply changes quicker with less mistakes from design to in-service operations, because you have different changes in configuration along the way, and you have to cope there with many different data sets everywhere in every function. The design guys have their own data set, the manufacturing guys have their own data sets, logistics, in-service support, training, and so on. And that duplication of data sets is creating mistakes and it's hard to know which data set is right and what is the clean data at a moment in time. Also, when you look at the in-service life of the product, well, during the in-service life of the product, there is many sources of information because the product is made of different suppliers, different OEMs, different equipment. So many different information coming from many different sources. It's how do you put that together into a single source of truth so that you control all the technical documentation and all the technical information around your product. And during the life of the product, you tend to lose the link between the flying configuration and the maintenance requirements. So how to better address this link between the change of configuration and the allowed configuration. And on top of that, if you are applying some changes, whether it's minor changes, retrofits, or major changes, you are adding your own documentation and your own information to the whole system. So how to put all that together in a single source of truth, this is really what the challenge is about. And then we talked about new value-added services. Well, if you want to be able to differentiate in new value-added services, well, if you want to put together enriched content, animated media, augmented reality, if you want to put together predictive maintenance, you need real-time access to clean and contextualized data. So here again, the link and digital thread between the different sources of data will allow you to put together those new value-added services and to have those value-added services available on multiple ways, multiple displays. So if we go to the next slide, we have identified key areas of improvement. So it's kind of a summary of what I just said. One of the main areas is, of course, being able to optimize change management from design to the technical publication of your information. The other one is about how to correctly document operations. When we say operations, it's all along the way, whether it's design, engineering, manufacturing, or in service support, or even logistics. How do you get the right document for at the point of work to put the operations in place? Next one is how to support the ILS process. How can you better link design to sustainability, not only in the design phase, but all along the life of your product? How can you share data set between maintenance engineering, which is the beginning, and the technical publication and all the tasks that are going around? Next one is about connecting current logistics to engineering data framework. And the last one, which is probably the most difficult one, is how do you organize proper data sharing between the OEMs and the MROs? I'm really happy to pass on the ball to Christophe Delaunay from MBDA, because MBDA has just finished implementing a big improvement project, digital transformation project in this area. So he will explain to us how it went, what he gained from that, and probably the challenges that he was facing also at the same time. So the floor is yours, Christophe.
Thank you, Marc. I'm Christophe Delaunay, project manager for MBDA, responsible of the digital transformation of the customer support and services. MBDA is the European company of 10,000 employees. We are specialized in designing, manufacturing, and providing weapon systems and missile munitions. Our customer support and services is taking care of customer satisfaction all along the product life cycle, meaning that we start our activities during the design phase with our integrated logistics support and the deliveries of technical publication. We are mainly there during the in-service phase with our field engineer on the customer side all around the world to be close to our customers, but we also manage spare and repairs flow with our supply chain manager, and also we have some back office capabilities with product experts able to answer all our customer questions and queries. Also, we are now offering our customer the possibilities to demilitarize at the end of life of our product. Next slide. So when we started the project 4 years ago, it was the time we were deploying a brand new platform for engineering called Matrix. This platform was operated by PTC tools, so mainly Windchill and Creo. And at the same time, we had very old tools inside CSS, some developed in the 90s, in-house, very difficult to maintain. Plus, renewal of our employees with the retirement of a lot of people. And these old tools were clearly not adapted to the new generation, nor neither to the new use and the new services that we provide to our customers. One click. So we decided at that time to add a block of functionalities to this new brand platform called Matrix, for some functionalities dedicated to customer and services to start the digital continuity between our different department directorates. Next slide. And our main goal, main objective was to manage, to improve our management of configuration, to be able to track and trace the evolution all around the life cycle of our product. Meaning when we decide to apply a new evolution, new version of a product, to see when and where it has been applied in manufacturing, but until when we apply it on site, our customers. So obviously, as the engineering bill of material was managed by Windchill, the idea for us was to add some armor text functionalities to be able to manage our initial support and our technical documentation delivery. Next. So for us, the idea was not also to stop working in isolation between the different directorates, between manufacturing, design, and CSS, but also inside CSS, to stop working with this old tool, not connecting, making us the obligation to duplicate the data between the different systems. For us, the important thing was to be able to gather all this information for initial support in an only and one and only platform. So to be able to link the data of the logistics support analysis database, the technical publication, and all the data modules, and also the future training course that we will deliver to our customers. So this new platform was also for Integrity Logistics Support Manager a way to better organize their team for their different development program, to be able to make the LSA engineer and our tech manager to change data and always have all the information, the last version of the information available for everyone. For us, it's a really big problem when we deliver some products, may say a black container, and on the tech hub, you see a green container. And that's a question of image for MBDA to be sure that our deliveries for service are aligned with our product. We need to know every time the configuration of our product, every time and everywhere. We cannot afford to have any mistake in our configuration. Next slide. And so for us, it was a change of tool. So brand new tool providing from PTC, a new way of working between the different services, the different departments. But it was also a change in terms of organization, because we created a new roles inside CSS, a role of product data owner. These product data owners are accountable of data quality. When we deployed the digital continuity, we could no longer have any mistake in our tools. It was not possible for us to let any mistake be spread all along our different set of tools. So we need some people, our product data owner, to be accountable of this quality of data, to be sure that every time we look for an information, we look for data, this data is the real one and is accurate. Meaning that it has been a revolution, a transformation for all the MBDA population. Not only the users with some new tools, but also the manager with a new way of working and exchanges data between services. But it has also been for our executive a new way of of discussing with our customer and prove to our customer how we are embodied and we endorse the question of data quality and of service quality. So all this transformation should not have been realized because everywhere was not just involved, but concern of the need of this digital transformation. And without the support and the sponsorship of our executive, nothing should have been possible. And also with the support of PTC for this transformation, because it has taken a lot of time to be sure that step by step we succeed in this project, and we arrive to a point where we can answer all our customer question and be sure that the answer is the right one. So this will be my last word, and I will let David present you the PTC offer on the digital thread.
Thank you, Christophe. MBDA use case is very good example how organizations can transform their service and support functions. Thank you. PTC is offering an end-to-end digital thread solution for paperless logistics and in-service operations. The solution breaks down silos along the digital thread from engineering to service with model-based logistics support analysis, engineering to service BOM transformations, service parts information, instructions and 3D illustrations, interactive technical publications, and augmented reality. The digital thread enables cross-functional change management from the design to the visualization through LSA. That means that a change can be propagated across domains that did not communicate before. This is quite a unique advantage of data continuity across engineering, logistics, technical publications, and service functions. The solution enables single source of information and logistic analysis through S-BOM or multi-BOM transformation capability. This capability creates associative relationships between parts and items in different BOMs, E-BOM, M-BOM, Service BOM, LSA BOM, where each item in the BOM can be directly linked to correspondent items in other BOMs with relationship to other information such as 2D and 3D illustrated part catalogs, part lists, service documentation, tools, assembly work instructions, and any other information, relevant information. The digital thread connects also another function, service parts information, instructions, and illustration capability. It enables management of the information based on how the product is configured and serviced in the field. So that's also traditionally was disconnected function, and now it's part of that digital thread. Bill of materials transformed into service-oriented breakdown structures of products and parts, used to organize all the content required to operate and service those products and parts throughout the entire their life cycle. Classification and applicability rules define which pieces of content are applicable for specific situations, for given product configuration and different usage conditions in different service locations. Finally, the digital thread connects XML-based dynamic publishing solution for authoring, publishing, interactive electronic technical publications. Along with fully capable content management capability, it enables creation and delivery augmented reality-based interactive electronic technical manuals and technical publications based on augmented reality experience. Next slide, please. The solution offering is based on a modular framework comprised of several tools and technology capabilities integrated into one solution. We name it Digital Logistics for In-Service Operations. The solution framework is based on a modular architecture, which enables integration and seamless data exchange and interoperability between several commercial off-the-shelf software tools provided by PTC, but also we can integrate with other tools as well. The modular nature of the solution is purposely created to address industry requirements for flexible deployment and gradual adoption. The solution is built on the PTC Windchill platform and the ASD AI S-Series Standards International specification for integrated product support, and particularly on S3000L and S1000D specifications. Additionally, Windchill platform is certified with Codex of PLM openness, which makes the solution framework open to be integrated with any other legacy or vendor-based systems or applications. So it makes the deployment easy for organization in any stage of the adoption of this in-service operation digital transformation. The modular deployment of the solution depends on organizations' maintenance and service data processes and their prioritized use cases. Some organizations will require integrated closed-loop change management process across engineering, logistics, service, and items creation functions. Other organizations will need to address logistics support analysis for service quality and its impact on the field service. Other approach could be implementing accuracy of service technical manuals throughout integration with part catalogs, publication management, and implementation of S1000D rules. So organization can approach adopting of this modular solution from any angle. On this slide, there are two parallel interconnected processes that the solution can be implemented. I would like to emphasize the model-based logistics support analysis. The LSA BOM is based on S3000L specification, which leverages engineering bill of material and model-based design, captures candidate item analysis, supports maintenance tasks analysis, automates a technical publication process, and enables this closed loop change from engineering to service. LSA breakdown structure should include part logistic information like zonal location, assembly sequence, tools, storage and packaging procedures, environmental data and criteria, and etc., which will help reusing existing service parts with all this relevant information attached. Additionally, logistics information on the point of use should be managed in the LSA BOM breakdown structure as well. LSA BOM is structured as a reverse logistic structure with LSA candidates for service operations and in multiple locations. It provides logistic analysis and KPIs like level of repair analysis, LoRa, or ramped reliability, availability, maintainability analysis, which can be combined with all the necessary service information and managed as one stop shop for all the logistic and service information. Next slide, please. One of the key advantages of the dynamic and connected digital thread solution is that critical functions can be started earlier in the process while other functions are still in work. Technical publications, authoring, management, publication, and publishing function based on PTC Arbortext set of tools is the end-to-end dynamic publishing solution, which streamlines how organization create, manage, and deliver technical publications. So technical publication functions can start while the logistic function is still in work, or service part instructions and information still in work. So those parallel functions can interoperate in the same time, and this is what PTC Digital Thread enables. Arbortext is an industry most adopted XML authoring, styling, and publishing software that helps companies create contextual and up-to-date, product-centric, interactive electronic technical content. Fully integrated with Windchill platform, it functions as a fully capable content management system. You can see it as a managed function there, with end-to-end consistency of the service information that flows along this publication digital thread. The capability enables authoring and publishing items based on Service BOM, illustrated part catalogs, LSA BOM data in many different formats, including S1000D format, but also augmented reality-based maintenance procedures, while maintaining associative relationship to all the relevant engineering, logistics, and service data. The dynamic and reusable XML-based content components maintained in a database with the ability to automatically publish up-to-date technical illustrations and service manuals across multiple audience and formats. Next slide, please. Next slide. The proposed solution has unique value of connected and interoperable digital thread based on open and modular digital platform and addressing standards required in the A&D industry. This innovative solution enables digital technology to break silos and connect traditionally disconnected engineering, logistics, services, and support functions. The positive effects of implementing PTC's digital logistic for and service operations solution include, but not limited to, enhancing equipment availability and uptime, harmonizing and improving required resources for effective maintenance and in-service operations, improving in-service operations with rapid incorporation of multiple modifications, reducing the logistic footprint and logistics support cost. There are KPIs on this slide reported by companies which deployed fully or partially the PTC solution and technology, such as, and that shows improvement in first-time fix rates, improvement in mean time to repair, significant increase in the field technicians utilization rate, and certainly savings from more streamlined logistics and in-service operations. With PTC solution, integrated logistics and product support becomes better connected to the engineering and manufacturing processes, and as a result, changes the way the maintenance and service organization can do the business today. In this point, I will transition to Jeff to describe S1000D technical publications.
Thanks for that, David. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. So I'm going to take this over from you, Melissa. So give me just one moment. And you should see a slide there. So my name is Jeff Stevenson. I'm the President Head of Sales at GPSL, but don't worry, this isn't going to be a sales presentation. I'm going to have a video running in the background here just for some motion as I talk to you all. So there have been some really good ideas shared here today by the team. What I'm going to show you today is really something a bit more practical. So at GPSL, we really want to help shape how people interact with content. So what we're going to do is walk through sort of a day in the life of an illustration and how that really looks inside of sort of practically in the digital thread. And we've been saying that term a lot lately, but really the digital thread is about taking content, not seeing it in silos, but seeing it inside of domains of expertise and having those SMEs inside of those domains to create that content, but to leverage that expertise up and down the digital thread or up and downstream, as sometimes we like to refer to it. So what we've done here is we've opened up an E-BOM and we've opened up in what's called a BOM transformer. And this allows us to create other BOMs associated to the E-BOM or derived from the E-BOM. In this case, we're creating what's called a Service BOM. And this is really about how we want to structure what the engineers have done in a view that is digestible or consumable by the field. And there's different tools in here that allows you to do this easily inside of Windchill. You can see there was a visualization there. There's ways that you can keep your BOMs in sync with each other. As we move along the process here, we have to take that BOM. The BOM is really just talking about structure, but we have to get this into a view that really is something publishable and something that the TechPubs team can begin to consume and begin to incorporate into the maintenance manuals. So what we're doing here is we're creating a new parts list. And the parts list really is that first viewable element that can be incorporated into a manual. And we're going to associate that S-BOM that we just made to the parts list. Now, as of right now, this is all just pure digital thread type of stuff that we're doing here. We haven't really done anything specific to any sort of a mill standard. But as we move along through the process here, we'll see how this parts list gets created and how then it gets associated downstream to S1000D. And what an S1000D is called an IPD, or an illustrated parts document. That's just a certain type of data module defined by S1000D to incorporate parts lists into illustrations. So when we're making the parts list, we can add other custom attributes, quantities, and things that are specific to the service field or to the service area, but maybe not to engineering. But again, we're taking the same content and we're adapting it for a different purpose. And you can see we've opened up this parts list in Creo Illustrate. This tool allows us to sort of take that geometry derived from the upstream CAD, and we can restylize it and repurpose it for what it needs to be downstream. So now we're going to take this parts list and we're going to take the illustration that we just made and we're going to associate this to an IPD. For the moment, once this loads, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. So I'm just going to make a point here just to say that what you're seeing here inside of Windchill is a custom environment specifically made to adhere to the specification for S1000D. S1000D, if you don't know, is a specification created by a committee, and it is meant to define how you store, create, and manage content. It's a very complete specification, and what GPSL has is a module for Windchill. It installs into Windchill like a piece of software, but it creates that environment that adheres to the S1000D specification. If you don't know S1000D, some of this might not be familiar to you, but if you do know S1000D, you know this structure on the left side here is really about the SNS structure. The workflows in here come from the S1000D specification, handle the change management, and when we get to the delivery, it also includes the the styling and everything that also comes from the S1000D spec. So this is really meant to be a complete end-to-end solution that's supports S1000D. I'm going to go ahead and restart the video here. And what we're doing is we're going to create a new data module, as it's called in S1000D. And it's going to be, as I said, that IPD type of a data module. And as we do this, we're going to associate the parts list that we made to the IPD. You can see all the attributes there. All these things are coming from the S1000D module. Those are all things that are S1000D specific attributes that are required by the spec. And they come with the module pre-built into Windchill. So there's our module there. We're going to open this up in Arbortext Editor, just for some proof of life that we can see it's been included. And you can see kind of in a small view there, there's the bicycle dot diagram that we had made before. This is just an authoring view. Obviously that's going to come out in a much larger view when we get to the outputs. So now so what does this look like now? So obviously we can publish these things to PDFs. That's sort of been the norm for a long time. But as content evolves and the way people want to consume content evolves, so we have ways to publish this out to an IETP viewer. And what we've done is we've published the S1000D as an XML package, which then can be included in any IETP or any other environment that is able to interpret S1000D. So we're just going to show here what that looks like inside of an IETP. This is our IETP viewer for S1000D called Viewpoint. And what this has done is it's taken that S1000D package and it has interpreted the S1000D through a builder, and it's created an environment. Now, as we log in here, you can see there's multiple manuals there, but that's all access control. It depends on who you are. The different manuals that you see are the different environments that you see. It shows a table of contents, and everything that we're going to kind of walk through here very briefly in Viewpoint was all derived and built from that S1000D manual or that package that we exported from Windchill. So all the attributes here for applicability, all the values in those dropdowns, all this was built dynamically. And because S1000D is a very complete specification, we're able to do these kinds of things because it is, as I said, very well defined, and we can build robust and interactive environments like this. At this point here, it flags all the part numbers, and we can search for the part number and see all the different places where that part number exists. We can click into a part number and we can see this IPD here. This is just a brief view, and we're going to come back to that in a bit more detail in just a second. So as a technician, I can view it like this just to kind of read the procedure and get some information, or I can get into an execution mode. So now as I'm actually performing the work, I can execute this, and I can walk through the data module procedure step by step. You can see warnings and cautions are outlined there. We wanted everyone to be safe, and we just want to create an environment that is useful to the artisans and the technicians. And you could even save sessions and things. So if you have a shift change or you couldn't finish the execution of this procedure before the end of the day, the session can also be saved, and you can pick this back up when you come in the next day. So if you click back into the figure again, you can see what we have here is the diagram we made in Windchill. We also have a parts list there too. So this is the same parts list and the associated illustration. There's cross-linking between the two things, so the technician can see where they are, and then they can see what parts they're affecting, then get a bit more information, again, based on the attributes that were added in Windchill. And everything you see here, all the geometry, the information was all created by the subject matter experts that are responsible for this content along the digital thread. There's nothing that's being copied and pasted. There's nothing that's sort of being, there's no data being changed. Some things might be restyled, but the integrity of the data is being maintained throughout the process here. So everything you see was what was created by the person who is essentially the expert for that area. And everything the technician is doing here, many times we talk about the digital thread as a right to left, but everything that's being done here is being logged and tracked by the viewer in an XML file. And that XML file then can be used for different purposes. It can be fed back to upstream processes to make the content even better.